Welcome! I am Sarah, here to share a New Year's meditation. Now, there's no rule, it doesn't have to be done on New Year's Day, but it can be a great one, and it can also be done any other day. But it's a beautiful practice that I have found really enjoyable. So let's get started. It is in a standing meditation, so that's great because it can be done transitionally or anytime, any place. But we'll begin with those feet shoulder distance apart, softly bending through those knees, checking in with the hips and just bringing them into alignment, and then watching those shoulders, drawing them down and back. And then we'll align that head as well. It might be leaning forward for many of us. We're just going to bring that head into alignment. So we've got head, shoulders, hips, knees, all in line with those ankles. And what we're doing here is we're just finding nice breath and positioning in our mountain pose as we begin, guiding those fingertips and palms open and extending towards the earth. And for just a moment, close those eyes and feel the crown of the head extend towards the sky. And just take a couple breaths, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And just notice, maybe there's sensations in the body that we start to come into. Just notice the breath. Is it fast? Where's the breathing happening right now? And can we draw that breath with a little more intention? Coming into that 3-part breath, finding the belly, inhaling through the ribs, inhaling through the chest. And then let's exhale from the chest, the ribs, back into the belly. One more time, breathing in through the belly, the ribs, and the chest, using this breath for grounding. And exhale from the chest, the ribs, back into the belly. Beautiful. All right, this New Year's meditation is about discovering the present, and we find it through connecting our mind with our physical body. Yoga is all about uniting or yoking, bringing the mind, body, and spirit together, and it can be done in small and simple ways. So let's begin by just rocking our weight, all of our weight back into our heels. Go as far back as you can without actually losing balance, and you may even lose balance for a moment and then just catch your foot and bring it back, but rock back into those heels and just notice all that weight back in those heels. Good. And then rock all of that weight forward, way into the toes, like the whole body is just leaning forward into those toes. Okay, and then come back. Just notice that grounding space in between the two. We're not far back in the heels, we're not in the toes, but we're balanced between both. Now let's open this perspective a little bit. Come into those heels again and notice the heels and everything behind us representing the past. And when we try to stay in the past with our minds, our spirits, or even our physical bodies, we create resistance. We're out of balance, we're out of alignment. There's lots of things activating to work because we're trying to stay in this past place that no longer exists. It's tough. I'm losing my balance like crazy. Now, join with me, rock all the way forward. All that weight into the toes, past those balls of the feet. That represents living in the future. Again, resistance. So much of the body is working so hard to try to maintain something that we're not calibrated for. So if we're spending those thoughts and all of that energy 2 steps ahead of us, we're creating resistance and alignment away from ourselves. Now again, notice feeling those sensations of resistance in the past, feeling those sensations of resistance when we come too far forward. And then notice that grounding space in the present where we're balanced between those heels, the balls, and in fact our toes are light enough they can lift and lower at any time. We're open and flexible to what the future may bring. Our heels ground us from what we've received in the past, and the balls of our feet offer placement in the present moment to move into that next step, whatever it might be. The sides of our feet, those outer edges, ground and stabilize the whole body. And the arches, which visually you can't see this space, but just take your arches and give them a little lift. Beautiful. They're incredibly grounding, and you'll notice as we lift those arches, we feel a gentle engagement through that lower belly, through the entire core, help stabilizing the spine. And in that space, we find the present. We use the present moment, yes, to intentionally look back on the past, and we can use it to intentionally look forward to the future. But we're not trying to stay or rewind, and we're not trying to fast forward into something that has yet to exist. As we take ourselves back into this present place, that opening and receiving, notice for just a moment what might come to mind. What grows right here? What offering can I give today? And then we'll just draw those hands to the heart. And take one last inhale and exhale. Feeling that present space, recalibrating that mind, body, and spirit right here, right now. With the new year, 2 tools for intentionally using that past and future. One can be looking back at 2020, getting into those heels of the past, but not staying there. And what we do is we come into the present moment and maybe grab a piece of paper or record it in some way, but write down things that we learned or accomplished or saw growth in through 2020, and aim to get at least 20 down on paper, but even aim for more, and just see how that evidence that you find begins to show the growth and the learning and the things that have come into you over the last year. And then from another place of intention, which is something I love to do every single year, is to choose a word of intention to take into the new year. And I typically choose just one word, and sometimes I find it in scriptures, sometimes I find it from a book that I'm reading, sometimes I find it just by meditating for a few moments and seeking what word comes. But that word of intention is a tool for stepping into the year with bringing that into more awareness. It doesn't necessarily mean a goal from the standpoint of it being something that we check off in a measurable way, but it's absolutely a goal in something that we bring into our awareness more abundantly. And I'll write it and put it in a place where I can see it visually throughout the year, and then just notice how I can incorporate that word into everyday life, whether that's at home, in the community, in a professional way, but it's integrating that word in some small and simple way. And I've been doing this now this will be my 9th year, I believe, and it has been so powerful to look back and see how different words have been the exact rhythm and connection that I've needed through whatever that year has offered that I didn't expect or didn't realize, but that it has been extremely grounding and opening to increase that connection with the divine. I am so grateful for new beginnings, and I'm also grateful for the new beginnings that come each and every day for all of us. So, hope you enjoy this short and simple meditation practice, and wishing you a happy, happy new year.